everybody, welcome to Nürburgring for the German Grand Prix, and the previous results carry with Emmanuel De Graffenried, Toulo De Graffenried on pole, and then andrepilette second, and Andre Simon and Robert Manzon third and fourth in their Simca Gordinis. Behind them we have Philippe Tansalon, who didn't actually finish the British Grand Prix, but as the guy to get furthest did manage to take a couple of points with the disqualification of Reg Parnell. Louis Chiron, he starts in 6th. And then you have some of those Ferraris, Taruffi, Gonzalez, and Villaraci as well. So they're all in 7th, 8th and 9th. And this is a long circuit and a long race. So poised for Ferrari to attack. I think De Graffenried's going to have quite a good bit of pace though. And he will seek to build a cushion before those Ferraris get through. There always seems to be something. Since Ascari won the opening round in Switzerland, since then there always seems to be something stopping Ferrari getting the win, doesn't there? And I wonder what it will be today. I mean, could it just be as a Graffenried get too far ahead, or will it be a bit more complex than that for Ferrari? It usually tends to be more complex, so we shall see. The Alphas actually lasted quite long in Silverstone, or some of them did, compared to their rivals. So Fangio will start in 13th, for example. I think Benetto's higher than that, possibly. But Fagioli, he also lasted quite long in Silverstone, but he hasn't lasted very long now, because come the German Grand Prix, Fagioli has had enough. He is off, and his seat at Alfa Romeo will be taken by the local driver, German Paul Peach. And I believe that he'll probably stay there for the rest of the season, but we shall wait to see on that one. So Fagioli, the world champion, is off. So we've only had 1 year of Formula 1 so far, and 6 races into the second year, there is not a world champion in the field. So, and there's only one world champion overall, but certainly in later eras, Formula 1 would get in a bit of a commercial panic if they didn't have a world champion racing. Here we go then, De Graffenried on pole, Pilette, and then Simon and Manzon. They are on the front row together, and De Graffenried is slow away. That's not good at all. Pilette takes the lead, but then it all goes a bit wrong for him, and De Graffenried finds the power and gets away. Look at Peach, he's made a good start now from Romeo, at least initially, but then they all back up, and it goes back to basically order. De Graffenried leads in the turn 1. There's Pilette. You've got the two Simca Gordinis still in 3rd, and that's great news for De Graffenried and Pilette, because they are working together to block the likes of the Talbots and Ferraris from getting through. They won't be able to do that for the entirety of the race, but they can do it for now. There's a Ferrari, I think up in the 5th, that's Taruffi, and now he's got to run. The Simca Gordinis tried to block the path, but was simply not able to. And Taruffi powers through, so much of a quicker car as he got. Taruffi powers through into the podium places, and very quickly indeed onto the tail of andrepilette. Oh, there we go, he's become a scuba missile there for a split second, then his wheels come back. Well, yeah, Taruffi absolutely on it, and De Graffenried needs to get away. He knows that Ferrari has now passed Pilette, you can see in the background, and he knows that Ferrari is coming. How much pace is De Graffenried going to have? He's going to have to get away, because look at the amount of ground Taruffi has pulled over Pilette already. It is clear that Ferrari is something super fast here, just like it was in Switzerland at the start of the season, and Indianapolis, of course, before Ascari pinned it into a back marker. So let's find Jerry Goes. I think that's one of the things. Whoa, there's the flyer in the background there. So here is Fangio actually not having a bad race at the minute, still in the race. I think he's worked his way up to 13th. No, I think he's gone a bit higher than that actually. But Gonzalez in the Ferrari up into 8th. He's got the orange band like Fangio's Alpha, so I'm guessing that must be something significant to the Argentinian driver, some sort of, maybe it just is their national racing colour. We don't know, because there's no Argentinian teams. Here is De Graffenried, and he has got Taruffi right on his tail. Taruffi is really there, really pushing. We wondered if De Graffenried would get away. He hasn't. There is a, you can hear on that Maserati engine something quite special. It's starting to sound like a, well, one Formula 1 car, a bit more screamy and buzzy there. But it's not quite as quick as it looks, because Taruffi is there, and Taruffi is applying pressure on De Graffenried. and he'll be looking to take this lead. De Graffenried cuts across. For now, he still leads the German Grand Prix, but this is looking very, very ominous. It's a long circuit, and Taruffi goes through, and De Graffenried, in trying to fight it off, has had a spin, and that might just affect De Graffenried. Was hoping to get into the World Championship battle with Roland Parnell struggling. Well, that's going to affect De Graffenried. Can he actually keep it going? That looks like pretty bad, although, that'll be it for De Graffenried, surely. The Pierrelevegh going off. Although, no, I think that's actually turned De Graffenried back onto the track. I think De Graffenried would have found it hard to get back into a position there where he could have rejoined the track. He might have had to have gone out of the race, but look at those talbots up in second and third. But De Graffenried, as a result of Pierrelevegh going off and spinning into him, I think Pierrelevegh will be out of the Grand Prix. De Graffenried has been turned back on track. He's in fourth place. He's still got a chance. That's Villaresi. Not looking like he's got much of a chance of getting back onto the circuit. He's going to do the loop-loop. Whoa! Well, that's that is monster truck F1. I think that is spectacular. The Villaresi back on the circuit and back into sixth place. He's just on the edge of points and roll off. That's a shame for francorol. Got all the way up to 8. Looked like he was recovering, but he's got a tank slapper on. Loses the wheel. francorol out of the race. He is the World Championship leader still, but that is going to start to come down if he can't get the results. Oh, that's another big impact off there. Who is gone off? They looks like talbots. I wonder if is that a Tunstall?
Has lost the wheel.
So, no, Whitehead's lost the wheel. I don't think it is a Tunstall and Olivey. They're still in second and third. Simon is in fifth still, so he's holding on well in that Simca Gordini. Manzon's not been so lucky, but De Graffenried there. And De Graffenried is quite quickly closing in the gap to those talbots. Taruffi, very comfortable at the front. If that Ferrari holds together, they are going to get another win in this 1951 season, and it's one that's much needed, and that would put Taruffi, certainly move him up the table a bit. But let's see what De Graffenried can do up against those talbots, because the talbots are slow, but they've been reliable, and Tantalin and Levegh both in a very, very good position. Second and third, they're hoping for a double podium, but they have that Maserati that really does sound fantastic. You can hear it, those two talbots sound like an absolute glugging bathtub, whereas the De Graffenried Maserati sounds like a prime racing vehicle. And through goes De Graffenried on Levegh. That's one move past the bathtub. I apologise, talbot, I couldn't resist it. And then Villaresi is up into fifth now. He's got past Simon, so Villaresi, having done the monster truck jump to get himself back onto the track, is now into the tail end of the points in fifth place. So things looking pretty decent for Ferrari at the moment. They've got 2 cars in the points. Gonzalez, things aren't going according to plan for him. That is a engine failure for, I think is it Duncan Hamilton, and Moss is getting a face full of engine smoke. Ascari all the way down in 17th, so things not going according to plan in this race for Ascari. That's Manzon. That's why Manzon's disappeared. He's got nothing, got no drive. He's still running, but it's a good job this is only a one-lap race, because that would be a very risky moving chicane, wouldn't it? And a Tantalin now. The time has come for a Tantalin to come under pressure from De Graffenried. De Graffenried, having had that off, looking like he would have been out of the race, is about to move back into second place, almost certainly. Here is a move coming from the Swiss driver on the French driver. De Graffenried, no, at the moment can't find the way. He's trying to pick the ideal path, and Tantalin is just holding the middle of the circuit because he knows that is going to make it as difficult for the De Graffenried as it's possible to make it. But De Graffenried does slip through with a car that much more powerful and a driver on that much good form. It was hard not to. Bear in mind, Taruffi is still leading. That is the way the game works sometimes, is that when a driver retires and they're in the pits, the game temporarily gets confused and thinks that they are ahead of the cars that are actually still racing. So Taruffi is in the lead, and even if he drops to fourth, he'll still be in the lead, assuming he doesn't actually physically drop to fourth. De Graffenried is in second place and getting away from those talbots. And I think that Tantalin is stuck in gear. Oh, how disappointing for Felipe Tantalin, because he has a chance, a really major chance, to get a podium, the first podium of his career here. But it might be his teammate Pierrelevegh, who also doesn't have a podium, who stands to benefit from this one. And that battle between the two Talbots is keeping things interesting for sure, because Taruffi has got quite a significant lead over De Graffenried, had more pace than De Graffenried at the start. De Graffenried, not likely to pass him, has done everything he can in that Maserati, and he's in a good position, don't get me wrong. Villaracy there ahead of David Murray. So I think Murray is up into the points. I think the positions are still not quite right. So look, Tansalon has been passed by Levegh, and now Villaracy will be the next one to come up behind a Tansalon, and I would imagine in a Ferrari versus a Talbot that is stuck in gear, he's going to catch up to him pretty quickly. Let's enjoy the engine sounds of this Maserati. That's where it goes quiet. Oh, I've got the Ferrari. When we get next to the Maserati, we will try to enjoy the engine sounds. Taruffi working his way through the S-bends and really having a fantastic race. Totally on top of it. Really, this is a moment for Ferrari that they need to savour, because if they can get back on the winning trail, that might just boost their confidence and enable them to win a lot more races before the end of the season. And there goes Villaracy on a Tansalon. A Tansalon is absolutely powerless to fight that. And David Murray in the Maserati is coming up. He'll be the next one to pass the Tansalon. What a shame for Felipe Tansalon. He was at one point in second place. Even after De Graffenried went through, he should still comfortably have been third. But it's all gone very pear-shaped indeed for Felipe Tansalon here. And he is about to drop out of the points, very sadly. Now, Taruffi continues to lead the race. And it really is a Sunday afternoon cruise for him, which is good because it means he hasn't got to push as hard as he might have had to on a circuit that is the most fearsome and dangerous out there for sure. So Villaracy still in fourth, Murray fifth. And Simon is out. That's a real shame for Andre Simon, because he was still trying his best to hold on to some form of points or being around or near them. But Simon now is out of the race. So that is the Simca Gordinis that did so well in Silverstone. Well, held on to the reliability where everyone else faltered. They are no longer in any sort of serious standing in this race. I don't know if Manzon's retired or if he's still crawling at that very pedestrian speed. Look at that. You can see the gap between Levegh and Villaracy. Villaracy trying to catch Levegh, but he's actually showing. I think Villaracy's lost a gear, or he's just breaking down. Once again, it is not going perfectly according to plan for Ferrari. It is going wrong. At least it's still going right for Pierrot but Villaracy, you can see he's got some sort of issue. Is he stuck in gear, or is it maybe even worse than that? But Tansalon, he's stuck in gear, but he's not stuck in gear as badly as Villaracy. Tansalon might have been about to get in the points, but he couldn't get the acceleration to get past him, and Branca goes past both of them. That is Branca in the Maserati now into the points, and I think this might be his first race of the season, so he's come all the way up from the back of the grid to run in fifth place. Great work from Tony Branca there, and still Tansalon is struggling to pass Villaracy, and now he's been hit by another Talbot. Not quite sure which Talbot that is, but it's out, and also Tansalon's surely going to be out because he's missing a wheel, and Villaracy has been taken out as well. So any remaining hope for points for the likes of Villaracy and Tansalon as well and truly buried now. And that is one of those guys out. Taruffi is not far off of completing the job now of winning the German Grand Prix. Through he comes, and he's going to be, I believe, a start-finish straight now. It widens out, and Piero Taruffi crosses the line and wins the German Grand Prix. Fantastic performance from Piero Taruffi. He is the race winner. Checkered flag is out, and Ferrari have a win on the board at last for the first time since Switzerland. And believe me, it's not been for the lack of trying. They've just not been able to get it together. Today, however, Piero Taruffi has done just that. So Piero Taruffi wins the German Grand Prix, then Toulo De Graffenried second in the Maserati, which will move him up to second in the World Championship as well. Pierrelevegh third. Haven't seen Levegh get any points at all so far in the first couple of years of Formula 1, but a strong podium today. Fantastic performance from Pierrelevegh. David Murray fourth in the Maserati. Tony Branca fifth in the Maserati. Should be a good little grid setup for the next race, shouldn't it? Alfa Romeo did not last anywhere near as long as they did in Silverstone today. They're going to be way back for the next race. But still, Gonzalez got up to 7th in the end, so still got a lot of work to do. Ascari 11th. So Ascari didn't actually finish though. He was the last retirement. But yeah, maybe a chance for Ferrari to get more than one car up there next time, but we'll see. It's Ferrari. It's a bit hit and miss with them this season, but today with pierotaruffi, they have very much had a hit. And now we will look at the World Championship. Francorol, we saw him going out earlier in the race. He still leads the World Championship, 22 points. Toulo De Graffenried now up to second on 17. Excuse me, I'm coughing a bit today. De Graffenried up into second on 17 points. And considering a season started Alfa Romeo, he's only had 2 races really to make things work. And in that time, oh, is it 3 races? I think I can't remember when he switched. I'm just going to have a look back at the record I've been keeping. No, he's had 3 races. So he finished 3rd in the first one, and then he got 4th in the first one. Then he got a win, and then a 2nd place. So De Graffenried in only 3 races has made up all that ground. That's got to put him on as a very strong tip for the championship if Roll won't refine his form. Parnell 16, Chiron 14, Taruffi 12, Ascari 10. Constructors, Ferrari 45, Maserati 35, Talbot 25, OSCA and Simca Gordini. Thank you so much all for watching. Thank you for your support for this channel so far. Please do like and subscribe, and see you soon. Take care.